Hey guys, it's Zira here with the Love of the Dark Fiber Arts podcast. I am a maker. I make stuff and I like to share it with you all. So yeah, I can't even tell you. Let me just start by saying I can't even tell you how nice it is to not be sick. If you watched my last podcast, I was like still kind of in the middle of it, but I was just getting over being just ridiculously sick. Oh, the whole family ended up getting sick, so it was like a full month of like, I'm sick, and now you're sick, and now you're sick, and now I'm starting to feel better, but you two are still sick. It was hellish. So anyway, I'm all well. We're all well. Everybody's well in the house. And I just thought right now would be a good time to sit down and show you some of the things I've been working on. So here we go. First of all, I'm super excited. Okay, I can't tell you how much I love Vistaprint. I mean, I can. I love them a lot because you can go on there and you can, if you're looking for a new logo or new business cards or whatever, you can play around with it. It's got all kinds of fonts and templates and everything. You can play around with it till you come up with something you like. And I came up with something I liked, so I had some printed. So this is my new business card. Now, here's the thing. This might come out backwards. Last time I podcasted, I thought that I had it figured out, and then when I actually went to watch it, it was backwards still. So, I don't know. Anyway, but you get the idea. It's got my little name there, and my little moons, and then on the back, it's got all my info, and that is not my legal name, but, oh, come on. Oh! I don't have it on autofocus. Let's try that. But it will be. I'm having my name changed legally, and I wanted to see what it would look like on a business card, and so I did. So there's that. Okay, click that. So yeah, Vistaprint is awesome. I love them, and they were so cheap, and this cardstock is really, really nice. So it's got all my, all the little find me here, all my little website areas, and things that are meaningful to me. So that's pretty cool. I keep having requests at work to carry like rice pillows, so little rice things that you heat up in the microwave, or you can put them in the freezer, when it's hot, or if you need cold therapy. So I was like, well, I don't really have a source for that right now, so I'm just going to make some and sell them at work. And that's what I'm going to do, but not with that piece of thread. So this is the eye pillow, and it's got a little, thing that you can take off and wash, so that's nice. A lot of the ones that I was finding, they were just as is with no cover, and it's like, well, yeah, you use that a few times and it gets dirty, and you can't just throw it in the wash because it's got rice in it. Ew. So I made them with little covers. So there's the little eye pillow version, and then I made the body version as well, and it's got like channels in it to keep the rice from just all bunching in one spot, which is really nice. So you can put that around your neck, or you can put it wherever. You could sleep with it and be all cozy and warm. So yeah, there's my rice pillows. I'm going to be selling those at my work. It's very exciting. All the materials that those are made out of are either recycled or reclaimed materials too. I don't buy anything new for that. That's not part of my mission. So those are cool and fun. Let's see here. I made for myself a little project bag. Woo! Maybe I will autofocus for just a minute. I always talk about how much I hate the autofocus, but it's just because people leave them on, and then it goes constantly in and out and in and out, and I hate that. It drives me crazy. So, yeah, look at that little fabric. Little crystal balls. What? And a while back I had my little logo printed on, oh, you can't see it. My little logo printed on ribbon. Anyway, it says Love of the Dark, and it's got a cute little pentacle on there. And yeah, so that's my nice little project bag. That'll fit. I mean, it would fit like a small shawl project, or probably even a big shawl project. It's rather big. And it's boxed at the bottom. But yeah. Right now I just make bags for me and for, friends. I signed up for the FiberShare again. If you haven't checked it out, fibershare.com, and it's FIBRE. So check it out. It's really fun. It's too late to sign up for this round. The sign-ups just stopped. But it's this thing where you can sign up, and then the agreement is you agree to send 200 grams of fiber to someone else. But it's kind of blown way out of proportioned, and people send all kinds of stuff, and way more, you know, than that. Or you can tell them what other crafts you're into, and they can send you little gadgets and knickknacks for that, or little snacks from your area. It turns out to be just this amazing surprise of goodness, and it's so much fun to, you know, to get your partner. You get their info, their Instagram info or whatever, and you can kind of stalk them and see what sorts of things they like, and sort of curate a little package for them. And I always make them a bag. So super fun. That's one of my bags. Let's see. I don't think that I have shown this before, and if I did, you get to see it again. I just was walking by it and I was like, oh yeah, I have that and I want to do something with it. But this is a roll egg, and it came apart, but that's okay. That's actually 3 roll eggs. Oh, and they're all fuzzy. This reminds me of Neapolitan ice cream, right? It's been sitting too long. I need to do something with it. But that's a good amount of fibers. It's very pretty. It's who knows what. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in there. There's bamboo and merino and stellina and some Firestar and all kinds of stuff. So there's a couple of those. Those are really fun. Sorry. Yay. But I was thinking of getting the spinning wheel out today and actually doing something with these rather than letting them sit any longer. Oh, this one's got some alpaca in it, and also some Angora, which is why it's so fluffy. Fluffy bunnies. So yeah, there's those guys. Yeah, I've been on kind of a fiber kick lately. I want to get out my blending board and whip up something delightful. So there's that. I don't have a lot to show you guys today, but I just wanted to touch bases because it feels like it's been a long time. So my daughter, I'm making her that lovely magical throw blanket from Ursi Knits. I've talked about her a couple times. I have a blanket of hers that I made for myself. And I've shown you already, let's see, the Libra block and the little goddess block. I'll show those just briefly. There's the goddess. Yeah. Super duper. And there's the Libra. I think I mentioned last time that I collect Libras. Got a lot of them in my life. And then got more. So I've finished the Horned God block. Oh, and I'm glad the light is picking that up. So some of these, instead of doing color work, I have just flipped the, oh, and that's actually backwards. I flipped the pattern. You know what? I wonder if that looks actually better that way. It might look better that way. I've just done pearls instead of knits where the color work would be. And that has turned out really well. I wasn't sure that it would, but it really does. We've got our Mercury block. Let's see here if I can get a better angle on that. Ooh, look at that. So there's Mercury. She wanted an Aquarius in her blanket, so there's that. Super fun. This is a Wedget or an Eye of Ra. And this is all of this yarn that I'm showing is all, it's just Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted. And I really, really like the yarn. My blanket's holding up really well. It is a non-superwash yarn. So with the floats on the back, like for example this guy, those are the floats. And right now, because they haven't really been messed with, they're a little bit, you know, you could get your finger caught in there, whatever. But when you've got it on your bed, after just a little while, these sort of felt down together and they don't pose any problem whatsoever. But there's our pentacle block. That one turned out really well. And then, because Mommy's a Capricorn, I have to make her not forget about her mom. So there's our Capricorn block. We've got a Trifolos, this is Hecate's wheel. That's one of my very favorites. That's a really fun one to do as well. I almost did this one in the, you know, just doing the solid color, but then I just realized I really wanted it to show up better, so that was nice. Using the pearls instead kind of works on simpler designs, I guess. It's complicated. We've got our triple moon, and I made one little mistake over in here. There was a green stitch where there should have been a burgundy stitch, so I'm going to have to go in and just do a little duplicate stitch over that. Not that it matters, I'm just picky. So yeah, those are those that I have done. I was on a kick of doing those, excuse me, I'm going to cough. I was on a kick of doing those squares for, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks or so. I was doing like one every day. And then I was like, I got to do something else for a minute. And I realized I had put down, I was working on the Larissa Brown's Moonflower Mystery Knit Along, and I started it, and I got like yay far into it, and I think I showed you on the last podcast. It may have been before that. Yeah, because I started that before I got sick, and then I got sick and I put it down, and it just got stuffed away, and somewhere halfway between forgot about it, lost interest in it for a minute. Not that it isn't a beautiful pattern, I just was working on other stuff. But I picked it up a couple days ago, and woohoo, here we go. So, all right. So when I stopped last time, oh, it's stuck here. I was right here. I had just started that little teeny start, and oh yeah, because at the same time. I'm going to take this off real quick. I was going on about how Chevis from the Chevy Real Stuff podcast, who's awesome, by the way. If you don't watch her, go do it. She'll be right up your alley. She had made me this beautiful stitch marker, and I was like looking around, and I was like, where the hell did that stitch marker go? And I promised I'd show you the next time. Well, it was in use. It was on the thing that I was showing you, which is why I couldn't find it. But anyway, that's here. Let's see here. Come on, focus. Anyway, it's lovely. It's a beautiful little quartz point that she soldered and made for me, and she left this cute little note that said, you know, it is lead solder, so don't put it in your mouth. So I haven't put it in my mouth. I've been very, very good. But now I can mark my space. But here, I'll show you this. So this is what I've got now. I got all the way through clue number 1, which was really, really, really long. And now that I'm into clue number 2, it's going a lot faster, and I'm just like, okay, I've got my mojo back for it. But these yarns are so beautiful together, right? Here, that's just marking something, a little mistake that I made that I need to fix. I realized in this little section that I either have an extra stitch or one too few, and I have to recount to find out, but I need to fix it right there because we're just 2 rows into that lace repeat. So I'm not going to rip back for that. I'm just going to move forward. I'm going to fix it and move forward. But anyway, yeah, these yarns I'm really, really happy with how this is turning out. It's a 3-color shawl, and let's see, we've got color A, which is this guy here, and you know, I've got all the notes as far as what the colors are, what the yarns are in my project notes, but I didn't write them down, and I don't remember. But this is color C. I do remember that this is a knitted wit yarn, and her yarns are really beautiful. I'm actually quite fond of that. I'm not a pastel person in my day-to-day life. I'm a brights or a darks kind of a person, but I really like the way that this is working with these 2 other colors. And then the 3rd color is somewhere here in my pile. Oh shit. Maybe it's not. It's probably sitting over there. Anyway, they're beautiful together. I just love them all. So yeah, that is actually it as far as, oh no, it's not. I've got one more thing. Okay, so my friend Jessie is having a grandbaby, and it's very exciting, and I was like, can I make something for them? And because I knit with wools, I don't knit with fake yarn, and I, at the same time, I understand and I appreciate the whole new mom thing, and the not necessarily having the desire or maybe even ability to take care of a woolen item, as far as something that's worn. You know, I make these beautiful woolen baby sweaters and then have mama accidentally put it in the wash, or have dad put it in the wash unknowingly and just shrink it down to dolly size. So instead of knitting a garment, they're really into elephants. Oh my god, you guys, what? Look at this. Oh, holy crap. Look at that little tail. It's so cute. I can't even. I want to knit one for myself just to have on the shelf. And that I'll put the link below. I can't remember the name of the pattern. It's on Ravelry, and it's a free pattern. But it's so damn cute. Look at her little bow. So yeah, there's that. And that is all that I had as far as that. But from here forward, we're not talking about crafting anymore. Well, not that kind of crafting. I wanted to share with you a tarot card deck that I got. I do tarot. I read tarot cards. And so typically I like to use an esoteric deck. There's two kinds of decks. Maybe there's more, I don't know. But there's esoteric decks and there's exoteric decks. Esoteric decks have a lot of hidden meaning. The pip cards are, well, they're illustrated. Some people will call them unillustrated. That's completely, absolutely not true. They're totally illustrated. They just don't have characters on them. They're illustrated with pips, which are little recognizable objects that tell you what the card is. Anyway, but I still collect all kinds of tarot cards because I am also an art junkie and I love art decks just as well. I just don't typically use them for a reading. But I got myself the Herb Crafter's Tarot. I really hope this isn't backwards. Anyway, if it is, it says the Herb Crafter's Tarot on there, and you can see it's got beautiful illustrations. And I thought initially, I wasn't sure what it looked like. I read the description of it, and I was like, ooh, that sounds really cool. And I started looking through. I'm just going to show you a few of these cards. So this is the Lovers. And let's see, that's so bright. Focus. Focus. There we go. The Lovers. And it's Hawthorn. It's very beautiful. And then, like, the Fool is Dandelion. Come on. There we go. Little rune pouch. Anyway, it's really beautifully illustrated. And I didn't think much of it. I was just kind of looking, and I wasn't really making connections as far as like how, you know, how or why did they choose that herb for this card? But then I read, and I have to read this to you guys. And it's going to take just a minute because it's kind of long, but it's so good. It's not super long. It's just, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to read this to you. All right. It's story time with Zira about this deck. The Herb Crafter's Tarot follows the structure of the standard 78-card tarot deck. The major arcana consists of 22 cards representing the suit of spirit. In the major arcana, we follow an herb crafter's journey as she meets the wilderness and learns to cultivate a garden for herself and one for the world. The minor arcana comprises 56 cards divided into 4 suits, numbering from aces to kings. The suits have been changed to the 4 elements needed to create life. Swords becomes air, wands becomes fire, cups becomes water, pentacles becomes earth. That little bit is pretty standard. There's some decks that I've seen that swap swords and wands, and that doesn't make sense to me, and I don't use those decks. I just don't. The tools of the Herb Crafter are bowlines. I think it's pronounced bowlines. It might be bowlines. I've heard people say it both ways, and I don't really know for sure. But you know what it is. It's the like sort of sickle-shaped witch's herb cutter thingy. Maybe you don't know that. I don't know. In the suit of air, mortars and pestles in the suit of fire, kettles in the suit of water, and baskets in the suit of earth. The suits also represent skills acquired on the herb crafter's journey: learning, air; creating, fire; nourishing, water; and giving, earth. I mean, already I'm just completely, absolutely in love with this deck after just reading that little blurb. The minor arcana cards show the everyday activities of the herb crafter. She stands outside the frame. We experience her life from the plant's perspective. We find her walking in nature, growing a cultivated garden, crafting medicine with fire and water, or creating legacy tools for the future. We chose the herbs for each suit according to how their medicine is acquired. The suit of air honors the medicine that comes from noticing, observing plants as they are. Air cards show tall, sword-like plants outside. The suit of fire celebrates the alchemy of herbcraft. Fire cards show busy scenes making tinctures and potions. The suit of water emphasizes water-based medicines. Water cards show baths and teas. The suit of earth features plants that are used to make legacy tools. Earth cards show baskets and fiber arts. What? What? See, that's how this relates. So fiber arts is mixed in with this. It's so good. We chose the herb for each number according to how they contribute to an ecosystem. So ones, or aces, are dooryard herbs and weeds. Twos are plants that attract pollinators or feed animal friends. Threes are plants that are easy to grow. Fours are plants used for borders and hedges. Fives are plants listed as endangered or threatened by the United Plant Savers. Sixes are abundantly producing plants. Sevens are ancient trees. Eights are root medicine plants. Nines are fruit trees. Tens are cover crops and composting plants. And if you've ever read anything about tarot, those numbers make so much sense as to why they were put in there. It's so good. The 16 people cards are inspired by the legacy of women healers throughout history. What? It just keeps getting better and better. We highlight the medicine keepers of the ages as hedge witches, grandmothers, midwives, and tias, who have held the secret recipes and passed them down to families in the most casual ways, in gathering flowers, making tea, and crafting baskets. The titles of the people cards are changed from traditional court card names to represent the archetypes each woman embodies as she matures into her craft, from wanderer to warrior to midwife to teacher. Pages become hijas, daughters. Knights become adelitas, warriors. Queens become madres, mothers. And kings become curanderas, healers. Like fairy godmothers, they each offer a gift to the herb crafter in the form of a virtue. Hijas give playfulness, adelitas give activism, madres give love, and curanderas give wisdom. The people cards feature the hands of the herb crafter. Our intention is to highlight the plant as well as to celebrate the slow, intentional ritual of handcrafting. With every berry gathered and tincture mixed, we enflesh the sacred, making prayer visible. As cultural anthropologist Angeles Arian writes, hands were humans' first magical tool. Hands give, hands receive. Your ancestors live in your hands. Hands are symbols of initiation. They have the power to love, create, move, and change. They are associated with giving, receiving, and serving. They teach us about reciprocity. Hands bridge the profane and sacred worlds. And that's what I'm going to read out of that. I'm not going to read any more. But this is a flippin' awesome deck, you guys. And it gives me goosebumps. I'm so excited to dive into it a little bit more and to start using it for readings. I'm actually really excited to use that for readings, even though it's not traditionally esoteric deck. It's very lovely, and it hits all my good spots. And then real quick before I go, I just wanted to show you the sweet thing that my sweetheart made for me. They've taken up wood burning recently. I think I mentioned that before. Maybe I mentioned it. Maybe I didn't. But look. What? Oh my God. I think I was in here knitting and they just came in and were like, I have a present for you. It's so cool. Look at those little moons. There's moons. Oh my gosh. I can't even. I don't know how they got that fine of detail on those feathers and that eyeball. Whew. I've done a little bit of wood burning and it's not easy. That is not an easy one. But I love when they're doing it because it makes the whole house smell like delicious wood. Anyway, yeah, that's it for today, you guys. I hope you're all having a lovely February. And, oh yeah, it's a leap year. Happy leap year, you guys. Don't forget, women are allowed to propose to men because it's leap year. Sorry about that autofocus. Bye, guys.